Okay, let's talk. What do you like better, renting or owning? I think I saw a video of you saying that you rent your current place, but you have rentals across the country, or you did. So why is that?
Well, I live in New York City right now, and we found a really good deal. So I've always had really good deals, rental
Yeah.
deals. If you find a small landlord, I'm Chinese. I used to live in Chinatown in Brooklyn. My landlord and I are like friends. I was his tenant for 10 years, so I was paying like a couple $100 because I owned the lease and I subletted all the rooms. So I'm what's called a rent hacker, right? So for me to buy a house would insanely increase my cost of living.
Yeah.
Like I'm paying a couple hundred a month, right? Like it's really cheap.
So what do you mean you're rent hacking essentially? So
Yeah.
what? Yeah. To break that, how the lease worked. Break
So
that
I
down.
just own the lease. Like that's my unit. I own a 3-bedroom, 2-bed lease. That's my lease with the landlord.
Yeah,
Now,
and you're renting out the rooms or something?
yeah, I rent it out to my friends, to people on Craigslist. I've probably had like 30 roommates over the last 10 years or more, maybe 40 roommates. I didn't even count.
So do you have a roommate right now?
Oh, no. So my lifestyle changed
Oh,
when I
okay.
met my partner.
Okay.
Right? Before that, my mentality was I'm never going to rent
Yeah.
a place by myself. Like, why would I do that? Like, I'm only coming here to sleep. I travel a lot. I like go to all sorts of places. I got lots of projects that I'm working on. I don't need a luxury 1-bedroom to myself.
Yeah.
That's always been my approach. So up till I was about 32, I always had roommates from 20 to 32. I started out like back in the day renting out my entire family home in Boston. Like I was renting out every single room to like students, right? So I did the same thing when I came to New York.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to take over this lease. My roommate was leaving. I paid him for the lease. He introduced me to the landlord. I took over the lease and I just started renting out the rooms at whatever market price that I felt was fair.
Yeah.
And I would just select the candidates. Obviously, I'm a recruiter. So I would just interview people and be
Yeah.
like, oh, you're cool. You can live with me.
Yeah.
And thankfully, 10 years, no real issues. Because if they live in my house, I get to call the shots. If you're being weird, you got to go, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you here.
Did you have them sign anything?
Sometimes we'd have like a sublet agreement, like monthly sublet. Here's the deposit you gave me. But again, because I was living there, I really picked my roommates very carefully. So it'd be like a student or like
Were they always girls, or did you pick guys too?
mostly girls, but definitely I had some guy friends as well.
Okay.
So I had a mix. Yeah, it was like all different races, all different genders. Like I was just like, hey, as long as you're cool and you're not freaking, do anything weird, like you can be my roommate, like we'll be friends. And so I rent hacked for a very long time. And then when I met my hubby, I got another rental. Like I just keep getting rentals because it's so easy to get rentals. Like if you have a good credit score, you've got the money to put it down, like you can get rentals all day long.
Well, also though, like so here's the thing too with rentals is they require like 3 times the rent, right? Like that's kind of I feel like that's kind of hard to qualify for most people, right? Like most people can't do that. So like that when you compare renting versus owning, right? It's like, okay, well, I have to go get a down payment and I still have to qualify. I have to have a good credit. Well, so you have to have a good credit for renting too. I'm not going to, give you a lease if you have a 560 credit score, right? So that's a huge thing I see that like people not argue about, but communicate about.